In an interview granted by the Home Secretary, Ms. Cooper, she mentioned something about the government's plan to increase the salary threshold requirement for those looking at getting the skilled worker visa in some sectors. So she mentioned some of the sectors I'll be talking about in this video. So it means that if you try to get a job in these sectors, now these are sectors that have got like, high number of work visa issued. And according to the figures released in the last couple of days or so, it shows that there's been a very minute reduction in the number of people applying for the work visa. And the plan now is that it looks like the existing plan is not as effective as they hope it would be. So the next plan now is to find a way to increase the salary threshold requirement to getting a skilled worker visa for job roles in certain sectors. And they're focusing on these sectors because of the country's over reliance on international recruitment to fill up the vacancies across these particular sectors, which we're going to be having a full conversation about. So if you're looking at getting a skilled worker visa, or you know someone who is planning to get a skilled worker visa in the UK, then you sure do want to stick to this video till the end. And if you're coming across this channel for the first time, do also hit on the subscribe button to join the amazing growing family. And my returning subscribers, you guys are the real MVP. Thank you for being here. I really do appreciate you guys. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. In the last couple of weeks since the Labour government got into power, the focus of the government has, been majorly on illegal immigration. Those have been coming into the UK through the small boats illegally. And that's been the focus in the last couple of weeks. There's been conversation about the Labour government putting a stop to the Rwanda plan and, trying to put in different measures to help reduce net, migration and stopping people coming into the UK illegally. However, just a couple of days ago, there's now been conversations around legal migration itself. So, according to the Home Secretary, Ms. Cooper, she mentioned that the fact that the government or the country is over reliant on international recruitment reflects the weakness in the labor market. And according to her, it looks like the fact that the certain sectors are overly reliant, there's been a consistent increase in the number of work visa issued to those sectors. It shows how weak the labor market is across those sectors. And one of our major plan, and she has been having conversations with the migration advisory committee, to find a way to reduce the reliance of these sectors to foreign workers. And one of the proposed measure or one of the conversation is around looking at increasing the salary threshold requirement for people looking at getting a skilled worker visa in those sectors. Now, so she mentioned that changes could increase minimum salary threshold for overseas workers to obtain visa to take up a job in the UK. Now, visa requirements for skilled workers in IT, telecommunication, and engineering to come to Britain to fill job could be tightened up. The Home Secretary has signaled. So, if you're looking at getting a job in IT, telecommunication, and engineering, there are plans to increase the salary threshold requirement to getting a job in these sectors. Now, changes could include raising the minimum salary threshold for overseas workers in these sectors to obtain a visa to take up a job in the United Kingdom. Now, they could also see restrictions based on regions of Britain where salary levels and labor force shortage is vary. Now, the cabinet minister has written to the government migration advisors to ask for a series of reviews on different group of overseas workers coming to the UK to help to address shortages in the labor force. So yeah, that's one of the things they're looking at. They're thinking of finding a way to tighten, you know, um, the opportunity to get in work visas to for jobs around the IT, the telecommunication, and also engineering sector. And the truth is, engineering sector is one of the sectors in the UK that has experienced a massive shortage. There are loads of opportunities in engineering. I've got a couple of friends who are engineers, and they share how much opportunities they've got in the last couple of years. You know how many organizations are trying to you know um get them to work with them and lots of opportunities out there. So yeah, engineering is one of those space, and they're actually looking at a way of tightening the visa, putting some restrictions on getting a work visa in those sectors. Now, Ms. Cooper wants the Migration Advisory Committee to look at key occupations to understand the reason behind their reliance on international recruitment. A move came as official figures shows that a visa clampdown has led to a dramatic fall in the number of foreign healthcare workers and students applying to come to the UK. So yeah, there's been a fall in those other visa categories. Student visa is reducing, health and care visa is also reducing because of the whole restrictions in family um, you know, independent, not being able to come with those people to the UK. However, there's been a little change in the work visa itself because most of these IT jobs, engineering jobs, pays as high as 38,700. So there's really no much restriction in that regard. And I think more measures need to be put in place to help tighten that particular work visa for those sectors. Now, in a letter to MAG chairman, Professor Brian Bells, Ms. Cooper said, based on preliminary look at indicators to inform assessment of reliance on international recruitment, as well as occupational group, which are largest users of work visas. We have identified the following occupational group for the review: IT, telecommunication, professionals, engineering, and professionals. These sectors feature in the top 10 of those sectors which have been reliant on international recruitment. And the government would like the mark to set out the reasons behind this and potential future demands on the sectors. We envisage this being the first of such review by the MAC as we seek to further understand the reliance of international workers in key sectors. The migration advisors were urged to consider a string of areas, including what type of roles are in shortage, what are the different drivers of such shortage, including training, pay, and condition. Now, Ms. Cooper also added that it is open to MAC to consider a wide range of different options, including the merit or otherwise of a potential of a differentiated approach based on region, occupation, and or other factors. Now, this must be balanced against the risk of undercutting the wages of British workers and of overcomplicating the system. So yeah, there's a lot of conversation really because there's been a record high reliance on international recruitment, and they're looking at different ways to manage this number and seeing if they decide to tighten the rules, how is this going to affect vacancies across the sector. So that's really been the conversation. Now, despite all of this, the director of policy at Manufacturers Group Make UK warned that this review could would spark a great cause of concern for a sector with 62,000 live vacancies, which is a lot. 6,000 live vacancy is really a lot for a particular sector, and difficulties training staff in the short term for experienced worker who are retiring. So yeah, it shows they are actually not willing to support because they have still have over 62,000 live vacancy, and they're planning to now you know clamp or put more restrictions to work visa, which might really affect the sector at large. Now, the current high level of international recruitment reflects weakness in the labor market, including persistent skill shortage in the UK. So the current approach is not sustainable, and the system, as it exists, is not operating in the national interest. So the new Labour government focus on restricting immigration appears to have slightly shifted from that of previous Tory administration, which was more targeted at reducing the number of low-skilled workers coming to the UK. So the Tory visa rule to stop people earning under 30,700 from bringing foreign partners to Britain have been paused by the Home Secretary. Ms. Cooper confirmed recently that this will be no that there will be no further changes to the current 29,000 a year wage threshold Britain need to bring family members from abroad until a review of the family visa policy has been completed. So yeah, these are some of the things that we're really having conversation about. So a little bit of shift of focus on the legal migration. They're looking at just basically finding a way to reduce the country's over reliance on international recruitment to fill in the shortage occupations here in the UK, which makes a lot of sense because trust me, most of the sectors find it difficult to like fill in those space with you know um Britain, or to the British people, they're focusing majorly on international recruitment because that's where they get the skill set to manage those shortage occupations. So yeah, that's one of the things that's really happening. That's one of the latest updates in regards to UK immigration. And if you find this video informative or resourceful, click on the like button. If you have any questions, please state in the comment section. And if you're coming across this channel for the first time, do well to hit on the subscribe button to join the amazing growing family. And my returning subscribers, you guys are the real MVP. Thank you for being here. I really do appreciate you guys. So this will be the end of this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.